Sanibonani bahlali. Welcome. Amandla. Ni amandla. Phansi ngabantu abasindezelayo phansi. Ayihlele phansi bamba umthetho. Ayihlele phansi bamba umthetho. Okay, bahlala asingeneni umsebenzi ukuthi abantu bayakwazi ukungena aphazamiseki wonke umuntu. Sivule nje ama-banners ethu abe ngaphambili, imessage yethu izokhane. Comrade Mzanele angibone noSisflora no-Meslis. Where are they? Now. Siyabonga abahlali. Sisalinda abanye abahlali abezayo from Tembisa. Basendleleni. But njengoba nazi ukuthi sizovikela okungokwethu. We are here to protect what is ours, what belongs to us. Namhlanje abameli have represented us in court. Now it is our turn to represent them in the streets of South Africa. Amandla. SERI and to uphold the rule of law. We are saying today a march on SERI, a march on Helen Suzman Foundation, a march on South African Human Rights Commission, a march on Chapter 9 institutions of South Africa is a march on Abahlali. We are saying today Abahlali supports our constitutional democracy, and we support the Chapter 9 institutions, NGOs and all civil society organizations that are progressive, that are here to protect humanity. So we are here to receive a memorandum of demand from Operation Dudula with SERI. Obviously, Abahlali cannot allow SERI to be bullied. We simply cannot allow the Socio-Economic Rights Institute of South Africa to be bullied, to be intimidated. We think they are doing a good job. The comrades, the communities around South Africa, not only Abahlali baseMjondolo, are clients of SERI. So under no circumstances, clients such as Abahlali baseMjondolo, who have for many years been benefiting from the professional and from the professional services that SERI has been rendering to the people of South Africa. So we are defending SERI. We are here to stand in solidarity with them and to make sure that their right to exist, their right to uphold the law and the Constitution of South Africa, their right to be the officers of the court is protected.
Okay, tell us more about the organization. Tell us more about that and how long has it been going for?
Well, Abahlali baseMjondolo is the shareholders movement which was formed in 2005 to fight for, protect, promote and advance the interest and the dignity of the shareholders in South Africa. A movement has grown. It's one of the biggest movements to have emerged in the post-apartheid South Africa, with more than 180,000 members in KwaZulu-Natal, in Gauteng, in Mpumalanga province, and in the Eastern Cape. Abahlali is one of the fastest growing grassroots organizations who are rooted in communities. So today, we are here to provide leadership, to build unity, peace and solidarity amongst the poor and the working class. We are here also to educate those whose anger is misdirected and misguided. We are saying today, Abahlali is prepared to engage with Operation Dudula to make sure that their anger, hate or frustration is directed to the right position. So our position is not compromised. We are for humanity. We stand with migrant communities in this country, as we stand with the people of Congo, Sudan, in the Sahel region. We stand with the people of Palestine. Humanity everywhere is our business, so we are going to protect those who are violently and illegally abused in this country.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And there you have it, guys. As you heard, they are here fighting against the hate that has been happening not only in South Africa, but in the African continent. This is Mbalintuli signing out from One Africa Radio TV Live from Braamfontein, Johannesburg.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Nomza Mazondo. I'm the Executive Director of SERI. I have with me Brian Palo, who is the General Secretary of the South African Informal Traders Forum. I have Eva Mukwena, who represents the African Reclaimers Organization. I have Tapelo Mohapi, who represents Abahlali Basemjondolo. I have Sfiso Zuma, who represents the Inner City Federation. And I have Sharon Ekambara, who represents Kopanang Africa Against Xenophobia. Thank you for joining us for this press briefing. This afternoon, we prepared to receive a march by Operation Dudula. The invitation, initially there was a poster circulating on social media, on X. We were alerted to that poster. We ourselves had at that time not received any communication from Dudula, but in 4 days, we were served officially with a letter requesting that our highest leadership structure must be here to receive a memorandum from Dudula. We wrote back to them formally with a letter and said that our leadership would be here. We requested a time that they would come. They informed us they would be here at 11:30, that they would not take longer than an hour with us. When we received the request and when we saw the protest, we understood that the only reason that Dudula would want to engage SERI, which is a law clinic, is because of a case that was heard earlier on in June by the Gauteng High Court, where we represent 4 of the organizations here, with the exception of the African Reclaimers Organization. And we then informed our clients that there is this march, there is going to be this process. Our clients then took a decision that in their understanding, the march can't be on their lawyers. The march must be about the case. And rightfully, that they must come and receive the march, because the march is a complaint against litigation that they have brought. And hence, this morning, members of different organizations were here. Also, leaders from civil society, more broadly, were also here. And they were here, one, either in their capacity to receive the memorandum as the people who Dudula must have a complaint against, or also people who stand with the 4 litigating organizations and SERI. When we've had the opportunity, we've been clear as SERI as an organization that we believe in human rights for everyone. In fact, when we launched the litigation against Dudula, I sent an email to several partners and close allies. And the email that I sent to allies, I was clear firstly who are litigating on behalf of, but also I was clear that SERI identifies with the cause that our clients have sent us to. I would give the example of a child who's sent to borrow salt from next door. You might get next door and they might swear at you, but you understand that when that salt arrives, your food will also be salted. So as SERI as an organization, we understood that the mission that we are sent to by the 4 organizations to bring a case where one that is clear to say everyone's humanity must be respected, everybody's dignity must be respected, and also that no one must break the law in the name of standing up for South Africa, because the 5 organizations that are here have members, and they will probably address you on their membership. And those members, the majority of them are South Africans, and they have views about Dudula and about the anti-migrant sentiment we've seen getting hold of the country. And so one of the things that was important for us in engaging Dudula is we hoped that the spirit that they engaged with us pre the march, so the individual who had been sent to deliver the letter was very respectful. He had his questions, he was clear about his disagreements, but there was a space of engagement. And so as an organization, at the very top for us was, if we believe in the right to protest of everyone, and that means we believe in the right to protest of Dudula, the right to Dudula to march, even on us, even as lawyers of poor marginalized people, we believe in that right. But 2, also how we understood and interpreted the instructions given to us by the 4 organizations. We understood those instructions as almost a defense of humanity. We saw it as a call on Ubuntu. And we did our best to communicate that Ubuntu in legal papers. When we argued before Justice Lester Adams, we did our best. But I almost feel that probably today was the day when now the 4 organizations and those who stand with them could communicate that upfront. To be clear that when you say you are closing down clinics in Katlehong, in Soweto, part of what you're doing is in effect undermining the humanity of Black people of people of African descent. We ask questions about how is it that this anti-migrant sentiment, one, is a sentiment that is against people of African descent. In South Africa, there are even visible migrant communities of other races. No one bothers them. We know for a fact that even Dudula would say it's about undocumented migrants. But we know that on the post that SERI was on, there was the Helen Suzman Foundation. The Helen Suzman Foundation has done one thing. They've brought a case around the Zimbabwe Extension Permit, which is a case about documented people, people who are visible and identifiable. And in effect, they are being fought because of that case. So when Dudula comes and says they're here, they're fighting because of undocumented migrants, we know that's not true. I even saw a TikTok, as a person who's not on TikTok myself, I saw a TikTok of a man who is naturalized South African, who showed his ID, who was with his child, and was sent away from the clinic. Not even by members of Dudula, by the way, by another organization. But again, every time you see this on the ground, it's clear that it's not about documents. It's about where you come from.
Yes.
And I can...
To protect humanity. Because we are not saying they are migrants and they are South Africans. We are saying we are protecting humanity. So if you can breathe and you were created by God, you were created in the image of God, how you got into the country, it doesn't matter to us. What matters is that that person is a human being and that person has a right just like anyone else. So I got to realize that these people do not see people who are living in the informal settlement as South Africans. We are not South Africans. We do not matter, just as we don't matter in the eyes of the government. So the reason why they say SERI does not represent and is not for South Africans, to them South Africans are people who are well-to-do, who are middle class, but those who are poor and marginalized, who are homeless, are not regarded as South Africans. When we talk about undocumented people, there are South Africans who are undocumented. There are people in South Africa who struggle to get their ID. But I think it's inhuman for anyone for you to get access to health care. You must produce something. That was during apartheid, which we did not allow that people must stand outside clinics and hospitals and ask, even if I have an ID, I don't think it's fair for me to be told that you must produce a documentation. That was done by the apartheid regime for Black people to produce something for them to be in the cities. But what we have done today was what we call the art of organizing, so that the voice of xenophobia does not become the voice that the world sees. That there are other South Africans who are against this. And they were the majority today. They were in the majority today. We've organized more than they have done. These were ordinary Black people who were coming from shared settlements. And thank you very much to the colleagues and comrades who are here. And we pledge our support all the time. And as we have said, if you touch SERI, you touch us. We dare not allow anyone who will attack those who are on the side of the poor. Otherwise, the poor would not be represented. South Africa, they say that access to courts and everywhere it's free, but we know for a fact that it's very expensive to go to court to prevent an eviction. Some of us, I personally, the same person who has been facing an eviction in 2014, if I'm not mistaken, and SERI represented me. So every person that was there has been represented by the Socio-Economic Right Institute. And we will not allow that legacy to go away. We want access to justice to be received by the poor and marginalized. And hence we were there today. We protected freedom, we protected our democracy, we protected our constitution that was under attack, we protected the civil society organization, because if they attack one of us and we allow it, they will go to the others as well. So what we have seen today was a true demonstration of people saying, let's organize ourselves from below and attack what makes us poor, but also what is going to deny us of our justice. So that's what I wanted to highlight.
Thank you, Norbert. Zuma.
We are clear as Inner City Federation that we are against about the Operation Tutula. So we are not afraid about Operation Tutula. We are going to defend SERI as SERI is our lawyers. Many people in the inner city, they are not scared of evictions because of SERI. But Operation Tutula, they are fighting with SERI. They are not supposed to go and fight with SERI. They are supposed to come and fight with us as the citizen of the inner city, or even the citizen of South Africa. Because if they go to court, it's us as clients who gave them the instructions to go to court. It's not them. So they are fighting with the wrong people. That's why I'm saying, as Inner City Federation, we are not supporting the way Operation Tutula doing things. Thank you, comrade.
Thanks. Sharon?
Thanks. Okay, so I'm part of Copenhagen Africa Against Xenophobia, and we were one of the applicants in the case, working with Nigel Rankin and others that are at the, facing this suffering from this crisis. And we want to strengthen our democracy so that we can hold our government to account, not to blame and to divide amongst ourselves the most vulnerable and the most marginalized, but to hold the government to account to deal with the corruption. In this province alone, Brian Schlongwe, the SIU, has found that he is responsible for 2 billion rands of corruption. 2 billion rands can get 3,000 doctors doing their community service for 1 year. Now, when are we going to hold them to account for that? And there's the reason our public health facilities are in crisis. The long queues, the quality of healthcare that people are receiving. You can't blame 3 or 4 million people in our country. That's the number of international migrants, predominantly Black African people that are in our country. So I think that for me, what tax does, what this litigation is about, is to champion our constitutional values, respect for human rights of all who live in this country, and respect for human dignity. And that's something that many, many people died fighting for, and that constitution and our laws and policies. And we can see even today.
So we worried and we were warned that there will be actions of this nature under our democracy, because we were taught to hate each other. It's not about hate for people that were not born in South Africa. During apartheid, we were taught a lesson or a system. It was forced on us to hate each other. That's why there was Transkei, Ciskei, Mazulu, and all those. So we are a product of that. So we are not surprised about the organization sort of Operation Tutula. If we hate ourselves as South Africans, how much more for someone who's from outside? And we know Operation Tutula is they're just a fronting. We go to offices of governments, they are very xenophobic. They are telling us that there is no space. Why are we fighting for people that are not from this country? We even got shocked to get to be asked that by people that are supposed to be promoting our constitution, because our constitution is very clear when it comes to that. So we are saying it had beginning for this year, but SERI, it's not the first time that their offices were attacked. We are aware of what is happening, and as long as they come to SERI, we will defend SERI because they are defending our rights. Lastly, we requested or we instructed SERI not only to go to court against Operation Tutula. We said they must also bring in the Department of Home Affairs, strictly because we believe they are the people behind this. As South African Informal Traders Forum, we've got members that are coming from Nigeria. It's 15 hours kind of a flight. They can't come here in South Africa without papers. But because Home Affairs keeps on dilly-dallying and not renewing their papers, some they are illegally in the country today because of Home Affairs. That's why we took Home Affairs into court. South African police also, because they're not doing their work. It was proven today down there. Operation Tutula is simply controlling them, is telling them what they want to do, and they budge. We went outside to accept a memorandum. As normal, we know what happens when someone is bringing a memorandum. But police are telling us, let's go inside our building as leadership, as people that were ready to accept the memorandum from these people, because they are saying they want to come inside the building. That's one of the reasons that we said SERI also include subs into this case. So we are here, South Africans, and we will defend what our fathers and forefathers fought for and died for. Not everyone is gonna be painting South Africans as if we are all hating people that were not born here. Surprisingly, it's only black people that are not needed here. I've never seen them going to Sentin and say they're fighting white people. They were not born here and all that. We've never seen such with Operation Tutula. So we'll defend SERI, because attack to SERI is attack to us. Thanks a lot.
We believe in a united Africa, not South Africa. That's why we are called African. And SERI showed us that as we believe as Africans, we can remain as Africans by putting all together all these organizations that you're seeing here in one room, in one space, in a short period of time, so that we can protect the people who normally protect our dignity, make sure that people respect us, and also fighting for us, because we don't have money to pay lawyers, we don't have money to take people to court. But with SERI, everything became possible for those people whom they never thought that they have weight. So what happened today really made me believe that as Africans, we can build a new Africa that will be for all, not for those who thinks they know everything.
Our team, thank you so much, our partners have consistently said we want to engage the Operation Tutula. This was the opportunity to engage with SERI and its partners, and they didn't take that opportunity. Even as we sit now, We spent the whole day waiting to receive a memorandum. We have not seen it. We don't know what it says. But I'm going to open for questions. And please be specific who you're addressing the question to.
Carol Manshaba from One Africa Radio TV, and I'm going to direct my question to Sir from Abashalenda. So as we arrived here, we were told that they were blocked away, as that being said. So are you denying that they were actually blocked away? They were given a platform to get in and present their memorandum?
Because they want the media to believe that. We've never blocked them. When the person who was carrying the mic, the deputy president of the movement, said, it means sit down and obey the law. So that on its own, when you utter that and you speak about the law being obeyed to your masses, I don't know where the blocking would be there. You can't be asking your constituency to obey the law and sit down, and at the same time be blocking people. We've had a danger tape, we've had disciplined people. In fact, prior to these gatherings, because we wanted to receive the march with SERI, with our partners as well, the memorandum. We've had instances where we had to go to communities and we had to say to them, practice the utmost discipline on that day. Because we are coming to receive, we want to hear Operation Dudula. So there has never been any blocking of some sort. We are peaceful people. We've always had protests that are peaceful. We have known to be the peaceful people. If you were present there, you could see that the police were facing that side.
Yes.
They were facing one side. There was no one coming this side.
Oh, okay, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon.
My name is Mike. These are my colleagues, the CEO of One Africa Radio. Before I ask the question, the idea of One Africa, our aim is to bring Africa together. That's the whole thing, right? So the question goes to you, ma'am. So SERI protects foreign nationals, right? So we also know that a lot of foreign nationals here in South Africa are not doing the right thing. How do we then stop that? Because if you are fighting for foreign nationals, if for instance I'm a foreign national from Ghana originally, right? So I came here for intention of also seek a life of living, thinking that I can also survive this country. But I end up achieving whatever I need to achieve. As I'm talking now, I have almost 90 staff workers, and then only 3 of them are foreign nationals, the rest are South Africans, right? So in other hand, I'm saying that the rest of foreign nationals that are not doing right in South Africa, how do you then deal with that situation?
Because we do our work as human rights lawyers, and we represent clients who approach us for assistance. And so this is actually almost the idea of SERI protects foreigners actually is a propaganda of Dudula. It's not an identity of who SERI is. Because if you Google SERI, just say socio-economic access to South Africa in Google, you're gonna find they represent the families of Marikana. You're gonna find they represented domestic workers, and the reason why domestic workers have today occupational injury insurance. You're gonna find that SERI, even on the negative, SERI represents, because explained on the negative, we represent occupiers in the inner city. In the buildings that we represent communities. Some of those buildings are 50% foreign national, 50% South Africans. Some of them are 90% South Africans, 10% foreign nationals. But we protect their right to have a home, their right to have access to housing. That's what we do. And we do that work in the understanding that no one should be without those things. And so this idea of SERI protects foreigners it's I would say it's a Dudularism. It's a Dudularism. It does not define who SERI is. If you went on Google and went only on the news side, you just said SERI, or you say Nomza Mozondo, or you say Socio-Economic Institute of South Africa. What you're gonna find is not SERI protects foreigners. It's going to be the work that we do on a daily basis to make sure that the dignity of poor black people is protected in this country. You know, during COVID, the first 2 months of COVID, we worked ourselves to the death because SANDF, SAPs, anti-invasion units were going around communities, torching people's homes, throwing out their food, leaving kids without shelter. That's the work that SERI does, representing those communities. When you say SERI protects foreign nationals, it isn't who we are. But because that's why every time I want to say it, we believe in human rights for everyone living in South Africa, including undocumented migrants. Because I also don't want
the inner city in particular. And he said that migrants are the cause of social ills, and whoever disagrees is not on the ground. So I want to know, how do you respond to that sentiment?
And that, of course, as I said, is because of our history. Colonization, apartheid. But we've had 30 years of democracy. That's a long time. And we're still the most unequal society in the world. Now, where do migrants come in that picture? And the inequality is along race and class and gender. And still the same face of the oppression that took place under apartheid and colonization. So for me, that question is not for me, it's for him to explain why is it that South Africa is still the most unequal society that then leads to the kind of conditions that people live under. He must answer, why isn't there proper service delivery for people living in townships that shouldn't be in existence in a democracy, people living in informal settlements. And my response to you then to him would be that to address those problems, if we get rid of 3 million foreign nationals from our country, will that solve the problem of the conditions that people live under in the inner city in Johannesburg or in informal settlements and so-called squatter camps in our country? All words from apartheid. So, and I would say then you ask him, would you be in support of a wealth tax? Would you be in support of a universal income grant that would enable young people? 7%, no, actually more than 10% of all graduates are unemployed in South Africa. Can you blame the migrants for that? Trillions is being stolen through corruption. And that money should be spent in improving the conditions in the inner city. So that would be my response.
If I can just add, Sharon, so peace and Operation Dula members. That included South African women and their children. These people have had the trauma of seeing people die. And they could do that. And it's because they know that when they throw the myth of their foreign nationals, it's going to be enough. And that's the reason why we don't want to have the debate of whether it's foreign nationals or not. We want to be clear. All humans must be treated with dignity. Full stop.